Harbor Hospital tonight has laid off some of its employees. This comes after the state filed an injunction against the hospital, saying there were several deficiencies that constituted immediate jeopardy to patients' health and safety, placing the patients at risk of harm, serious injury, or death. KFDM's Jessica Crawford was at the hospital earlier today when employees left a meeting. She has been on the story from the beginning and joins us with new details from Harbor Hospital. Jessica, how about the changes out there tonight?
Greg, many employees walked out of these doors this morning hearing that they had just lost their jobs. It can be a very emotional time for them and for the people who knew them as caretakers. A Friday morning meeting at Harbor Hospital ended with employees heading home after receiving difficult news. Some of them are losing their jobs.
I'm really sad that it is closing because the nurses were wonderful people.
Alyssa Barton's father had cancer. He received care at Harbor Hospital.
The nurses came in and, they were very comforting to my mom, to me, and to my dad.
Now she's saddened many of its employees have been laid off, some of them nurses with whom she developed a good relationship. The layoffs come after the state filed an injunction against the hospital. The Department of State Health Services found some of its practices placed patients at risk of harm, serious injury, or death. The state's findings include unsanitary storage of respiratory and gastric scopes and improper handling of blood transfusions.
After the transfusions is when we just spiraled downhill.
Barton's family was originally told her father would live, but then she says, despite the care he received, things began looking bleak.
Finally, one of the nurses said, "You just need to start asking questions." So we asked his doctor what was going on, and he just basically said that he had about a month left to live.
Her father died of cancer in 2013. The family doesn't say they blame the hospital for his death, and Barton is glad the nurses were there to tell her to ask questions about his treatment.
The nurses were so great, and to just lose your job, out of the blue for things I'm sure that some of them didn't know was happening, some maybe did, that'd be a shock and hard for them and their families.
And as you can see behind me, the security guards are here, but not many other people. And the hospital says that it will open as soon as it makes improvements and doesn't quite give a time frame for when that will happen. Live in Beaumont, I'm Jessica Crawford, KFDM 6 News.
Beaumont